All right, here we go. This one is going to be a 357 Sig test. Today we're going to be trying out the Sig V-Crown. That one is 125 grain. That's what this one looks like. It does have a pretty shallow hollow point cavity too. Kind of like that Golden Saber we just tested. But usually does pretty well. So we do have two different barrel lengths we're going to be going out of. We have the Glock 33 and the Glock 31. So that is a 3.42 inch and a 4.5 inch. So we'll be going through our gel. That is a 10% block. We do have our jug backstop just in case we get those pass-throughs, and our 4 layers of cotton t-shirt on the front. So like always, we'll set the chronograph up in front so we can hopefully get those impact velocities. And we'll see how this thing does out of both these barrel lengths. So the first one up will be that short barrel Glock 33. All right, we're stepping back to 15 feet. All right, let's see how we did on that one. So it looks like our impact velocity was 1255, so that's not very high at all. Normally when I test it, we're just over 13 with that short barrel, so it's pretty surprising to see. All right, so let's see how we did. So our entry hole did hit just a little bit left on that one, but it looks like we got just enough meat of that block to where it still went through and got a nice path. So there's the entry. Looking like a nice star pattern so far, and here is the stretch cavity from the top. So not the biggest stretch cavity out there, but definitely doing some pretty good damage. It looks like that one carried through pretty much all the way through. So let's see at its widest point. We are just under 2 inches on that one, so it's pretty good. And this one did go through the first jug and bounced off the second. So we got quite a bit of penetration on that one too. But there we go. So from the side, that's actually looking really good. So as soon as it hit, it did open up pretty quickly, and it looks like we got a really nice stretch cavity from the side. Even though for, you know, the 357 Sig, that is pretty low velocities. Like I said, we're normally getting just over 1300 with that one, but it's just how ballistics go sometimes. All right, and let's see the stretch from this side. So on this one, we are at 2.5 inches. So it's actually pretty good. About average. On the high side, we normally get just over 3 inches. So really cool to see. And that one did carry through pretty much all the way until about that last inch. And then it did start to settle down, but we did get quite a bit of penetration on that one. So that's a really good looking permanent cavity on that. So what we'll do now is we'll set it for that 31 and see how that one does. All right, we're stepping back to 15 feet. This one is that Glock 31. All right, let's see how we did on that one. So it looks like impact velocity on this one was a little bit higher. This one is right at 1370. So it's not too bad. I believe rated is 1350. So got a little bit overrated for that longer 4.5 inch barrel. All right, so let's see how that one did. Looks like we got a pretty good shot on that one. And you can actually see down in there, it does have a pretty good size hole. This one has a huge star pattern on that. So it's looking really good so far. Let's check it out from the top. Yeah, it has a nice, huge, permanent wound cavity on that one. Got some really nice spiral cuts all the way through. And that one does look like it did carry all the way through. So that's very nice. Let's see the measurement from its widest point. We are at just over 2.5 inches, so pretty much the same as that last one. So let's check it out from the side. Yeah, and same thing on this one. It does look like whenever it came in, let's make sure we're focused. So it does look like as soon as it hit, it started expanding and started getting quite a bit of damage going through there. Really nice spiral cuts through this one. And it carried all the way through. It barely settled down, maybe the last ½ inch, and then we did catch it in that first jug. So not as much penetration as that first one, but did really, really good. So let's see from the side if we can get a pretty good measurement. This one, yeah, same thing, 2½ inches. So pretty impressive for that Sig V-Crown. I expected it to be a little bit hotter. I have seen it on a couple other tests doing close to 1,500 feet per second, if not just over. So still cool, still got 1370, so that's pretty good. So what we're gonna do is check it out one more time from the top, and then we'll pull both those rounds and compare them. All right, so there's both those stretch cavities. One on the left is the 31, one on the right is the 33. So you can definitely see a difference, but the measurements are pretty much the same on those. So here is that 33, came in, opened up, started doing quite a bit of damage going through there, and we did carry through almost all the way to the end of that block. It did start to settle down that last inch or so. We got just through that second jug. And let's see, here is that 31. Same thing, came in on this one, opened up really good. And got some pretty impressive damage on this one. And this one did carry through all the way to the end of that block. Those are some pretty awesome spiral cuts on this. So it'll be pretty interesting to see that cross section on this one. So let's check those rounds out. All right, check those things out. Looks like they both did really, really good on expansion. So the one on the left is the 31, one on the right is that 33. So just by looking at them, you can't really tell a difference, but once I flip them over, you can see. So here is that 31. Got some really nice uniform expansion on that. Peel those petals all the way back, but really uniform on that one. And that one did bounce off, let's see, I believe the third jug, and did end up on the ground, but we were able to find it. So that's good. And here is the 31. So this one did open up just a little bit more. You can kind of tell from the top, but from the side and from the bottom, you can definitely tell. Peel those petals back just a little bit further. These ones peeled all the way to the end of that round, and then they tried to peel over that base. Didn't quite make it, but still pretty impressive. So let's see from the bottom. They're pretty identical though. You can hardly tell the difference. I will get our still shots and all that good stuff at the end, so maybe you guys can tell a little bit better, but both pretty impressive. So there we go. That one was the Sig V-Crown 125 grain Glock 33 versus Glock 31. There we go. All right, and here's that cross section for that 33. Looks like we're getting some pretty good damage so far. I believe there is a chunk of lead down in there, so it shed just a little bit. Same thing on this side, looking really good. Nice big star pattern on there. Big old cuts. So let's cut it open, see what it looks like. All right, here's the right side, here is the left side. So you can see where it came in, started opening up. This one looks like it has quite a bit of damage going on. Really big stretch cavity throughout there. There's just a little bit of cotton this time. Doesn't look like it drugged too much of it in. But look at those cuts in here. Doing really good tearing so far. More than I thought. You couldn't really tell too much from the block being together, but after cutting it, it is pretty nasty in there. And same thing with the top. Came in, opened up really, really quickly. And it looks like this side has a little bit more of that cotton t-shirt. You can see it kind of throughout that track. Same on this side. This side came apart when I was cutting, but still doing a ton of damage in there. But you can really see all those cuts and tears. You can see that nice big permanent wound cavity. You can see a little bit better on this side, but yeah, it's pretty huge throughout there. So pretty impressive for that short barrel, just over 1,300 feet per second. All right, and here's that cross section for that 31. This one is definitely looking like it's doing a little bit more damage in here. But we were just over 100 feet per second gain with that 31, so you can definitely see what it's doing to that gel. Got some pretty deep cuts in there, pretty wide cuts. So let's cut it open. All right, and here's these tracks after being cut open. This is the right side, this top one is the left side. But you can see it came in, opened up really quickly within a 1/4 inch. And we got some really deep cuts down in this stuff too. Dumping just a little bit of a cotton t-shirt you can see in there. But we got some cuts way down in there. I believe this one was 2.5 inches or 2 3/4 inches deep. So a lot of damage. And same thing on this top side, you can really see those stretch cavities going through. But as soon as it came in, it opened up, and just dumping all kinds of that fabric in there. Nice deep cuts all the way through. Same right here, it's kind of hard to open it up, but kind of get the idea what it's doing. But tons of fabric that it was shedding through. But that was a pretty good round, even though it wasn't the fastest one that we've tested, but still looks like it's doing quite a bit of damage. So there we go. There was that Sig V-Crown out of the 31.